Something.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
The Buffalo Soldiers, morning, morning.
Morning, everybody.
Yes, it's pretty early. 6 a.m. in the morning.
Nice and cloudy.
So we're gonna get a bit of rain.
This looks like more than a bit though. Hopefully.
Really? My job is an outside job. So I can only do a bit of rain.
So the creator gives you a break. Every now and again you get a break.
True.
You must take it, man. All right, everybody, welcome back.
GG4, morning. Hi, Kendrick. Currency Walk. Hi. The Buffalo says, I thought it might have been a test. A test of what?
Testing when we get on. As I see when I get your glasses, I've forgotten that.
Test of what? Might? Perseverance? No. Test of fortuity?
Fortitude.
To be able to get up so early.
We're up early anyway, but you mean to prepare yourself to do some work so early. That's what you mean, right?
I don't find this to be work. This is like your friend call you early on a Sunday morning and you sit down and lavish for 2 hours
and chat nothing less, as I like to put it. But it gives you a break from the stresses of life.
Mhm.
All right, so those of you who don't know us, is there anybody here who don't know us? No, everybody here knows us.
Yeah.
But for those who will be listening 3 hours from now, I'm Claudia.
And I'm Tony.
Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, this is where we answer your questions. YouTube Live, and we discuss real estate affairs and some real estate things that you need to know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So today we're actually going to be looking at what was it? Was it the adverse possession?
No, was it Greenacres?
That was Greenacres and how the progression, but how can I get my phone please? How do we navigate? So adverse possession can be good and bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you yourself can use adverse possession, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Or somebody can adverse possess you.
That's the bad part.
That's the bad part. But remember, there's always two sides to the coin. So ask us questions while I so if you have any questions, you're gonna bring up bring up the article.
Yeah. Try to look for it. Anybody else catching the bad flu that's going around? Is it a flu or is it like a cold?
It nailed me last week, which is why I'm sounding so nasal actually.
Yeah, but it has this lingering cough.
Right, and pain in the throat. I have had. Anybody else have that?
All right. Dion says, "Good morning, ladies. Morning. Horse dead, cold fat. Welcome back. Yes, thank you. Sheila takes blessed morning. Good morning. That's the first time I've seen that handle.
Sheila takes.
Yes, first
Okay,
time.
cool.
No questions?
All right, so we're going to discuss the article. Those who come late on a miss, oh miss, they're probably still asleep. Tony must send out a wake up call. Did you send out a notification?
No, I didn't.
You can still send out a notification?
Well, no, that we're on it. It sent out a notification.
Oh, automatic.
Mm-hmm. You
Right.
mean send out one like at 5 a.m.?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
That would be so cruel. People want to sleep, man.
I guess because they can watch it at over from now, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
All right, article is up. Let me share the screen. How do I share the screen? Oh, Sheila says, from Baleka days, just had a name change. Oh.
Oh, so we're finished with the lake and now we're on to Palmetto Pines.
Why am I not able to share the screen? Ah, there we go.
This is an article from
The Gleano.
Lino.
It says unable to share screen. Why?
Clear the ad. Go back and clear the ad. Lino. Like Lino grayscale. Clear the ad.
No, they shouldn't be able to do that.
They're probably seeing the screen now.
I hope so. There was a question though. Um, Horse Dead and Kofat is asking, I want to dig a well in Saint Elizabeth. Do you guys have do you guys have info on how to go about it? Like a commercial one or
I wouldn't say we have that off the bat, but you know for a fact that there's water there. So there's a company called the Water Resources Authority. You want to go to the website or you want to take the article first?
let's see. Water Resources Authority.
Um, and we have companies in Jamaica that dig wells, like Jamaica Wells. So you might want to contact them as well. Um, this flu thing. We used to be a family without flu until Xander and Xavier were born.
Family without flu. Now we know children carry germs.
Yeah. And the thing is, this. So I was down 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and finally jump up Thursday. Was able to drive Saturday. That was yesterday. But it makes you weak. It's like you're lethargic. You're not motivated, not even to eat. I was telling Tony that. So I usually eat lunchtime and dinner.
Mhm.
But I found that I buy my lunch at lunchtime. I can only eat about half of it. And then the other half, I'm trying to eat it at dinner and I'm still struggling to eat it. So I end up throwing it away. All right. So the resources, the Water Resources Authority. Can you make it bigger? All right. Is responsible for the management, protection, and control, allocation, and use of Jamaica's resources, maintain hydrological database, and provides data information and technical assistance to government and ongoing. So their mission is to regulate, protect, and manage Jamaica's water resources and to influence the process, distribution, conservation, sustainability, and safety of supply. You can contact them. Let me see the go to the top. Let me see the tabs. Let me see resources. All right. So you can. What's a water information system? Did you do a geological study and you realize that you do have water under your
It
land?
seems to be a login.
This is a login. So I guess the professionals would use a login. Um. All right. So you're gonna call these people. All right. So they do application for the consent, application for the license to abstract and use water, or construct or alter or cause to be constructed or alter any works for the abstraction and use of water. I guess that is the well. So the fee for that is 15,000. License to abstract and use water or construct or alter or cause to be constructed or altered any works for the abstraction and use of water renewable every 5 years.
Well driller license.
Application for the consent of the authority to sink, enlarge, or otherwise alter a well. Consent, permission to sink, enlarge, or otherwise alter a well. Well drillers license renewable. So there are well drillers apparently. And of course my sinus is also draining. So you have to check. So what Water Resources Authority, good people to talk to. There's also a company called Jamaica Wells that I know of because they were on the road where my office was before.
Oh, they're in Kingston.
They're in Balata. Should be the same company.
That looks
So
like
they're a well drilling company, right? Scroll down. Scroll down. So you want to,
oh, they were in 1970.
yeah. So the well drilling in diameters ranging from 153 mm to 610 to the depths of 15 meters to 366 meters. So where we are now at Palmetto Pines, we're really up front and close with a well. And it is so powerful. The water just comes and comes and comes. It's never ending. Um, but you have to know that the water is there before you commission and drilling, right?
Really? You can't just drill? I
Why
mean,
would you want to spend all this money to
well,
drill?
isn't there water should be there at some point?
I don't know. You said St. Elizabeth. Well, if the low line is of St. Elizabeth, maybe. Or maybe the water is brackish. It could also be seawater.
Oh,
He wants fresh water, right? But these two companies you can interface with. So them say need a quotation. Um, so they do the drilling. This is the one that I know of. All right. So Jamaica Wells and Services Limited and Jamaica no Natural Resources Authority. All the time I said, I'm gonna look for a land with water source. Find land with water source all the time and don't act on it.
what's causing that, Mom?
I don't know. Guess there is no need. I mean, right now every day I'm right beside a well, so I feel as if water is not the problem.
Well, you've never lived anywhere where you'd have to carry a bucket, eh?
Yeah, I have. I have.
In Kingston.
Yeah, man, and South Road when we had what drought conditions. I
Yeah, but
used
you
to
were
have
a
to carry
child.
five. No, I wasn't. I lived on South Road. I was 17 years old.
That's still a child. I'm talking like
But I
now, where
had
you
you.
have the
No,
ability to do something about it. Water is not an issue in your life.
what do you mean when I have the ability to do something?
Yeah, so it's not a burning desire to change it. Because as an adult, you can go and look for land with water on it, but what where your situation now is you always have access to water.
That's probably true. I have learned to make do with little water. Seriously. When the pipes are off, like even my shower the other day.
Uh-huh.
Remember the shower went down? You had to fix it or whatever was using it.
Yeah.
I've learned to just have a quart of water and tidy myself. When the toilet not working, I've learned how to just use a pail, which is a one of those pail pan pail, and flush the toilet. I've learned how to function with small amount of water. Um,
Can you function with small amount of electricity?
no, that's tricky because I have to plug in my laptop. My phone has to be charged. I have to run the fan, the AC sometimes. That's tricky. That's tricky. That's tricky. Which is why, and there's always electricity for the most part, which is why I have not. I'm still not convinced that I need to fork out this money to put in solar. Still not convinced. Because with GPS, I can just go flick the switch, it's on. With solar, I don't want to include the battery. I just don't want
Too
to.
much technology to
Yeah,
think about.
yeah, I just don't want to really.
Maybe if you were living like off the grid, maybe then the water and the
I think people are crazy to live off grid, really. Why would I want to live off grid? Totally.
I don't know the peacefulness of it.
Peaceful?
Mm.
I don't know. That's not for me though. Arsadid says, Horse and Kofat, sorry. I don't know why my words are slurring.
Because
Don't
you
have
don't
on
have
my
your glasses,
glasses.
so you can't read what they're
Can't read
saying.
it. He says private well, I have no idea of what is. You have to go do the study first. Who are the people who does those studies? You have. So this is the era my daughter was in an engineer. They're called geotechnical engineers. So you need a geotechnical firm to, is it then? Call the same natural resource authority and they should be able to tell you. Or the same Jamaica Wells tell you how to get the study done. You need to know that the water is there. Why go after it if it's not there? It's like going after this girl and she's not there. She's a figment of your imagination.
Mhm.
Right? Greetings, Safi, the Buffalo. So when you build a house, this company can put in a well on your property. Yes, but the water has to be there. You remember them have to dig, And the water can be, as they said, it can be from
15.
15 meters, which is just a little, or it can be 300 and odd meters, like the well that's right now where we are. That's 300 odd meters below ground.
It is?
Yeah,
Is that far?
it's that far.
Oh. Oh, that's why even when the trucks are full and they turn off the well, it still has this whole heap of water that's still coming out.
Mhm. And the water is so clean, guys. So clean, you wouldn't imagine it. So clean. If the chickens can drink it, we can drink it too.
You have to grow up on that water to drink it.
Well, we drink rainwater naturally now in Jamaica. All over Jamaica, people rely on rainwater. When we're up in the hills in Coopersville, we rely on rainwater. That's how we drink. All right, want to take the article now?
Yeah. As Staffy says, everyone should have a tank as standard. We all know water goes. So how are you going to help yourself. So yeah, tank is
I think the
important.
tank is standard now. I'm gonna take my little almond milk, guys. I found this almond milk. I don't work for these people. I don't even know who distributed it, to be honest. It's called Nature's Heart. Extra creamy. All kind of things to make you buy the milk.
I know there was a chocolate almond one too.
Yeah, it's really nice. The cap is easy to open. Comes in just the right size. It's not too big. It's not too small. It can drink on its own, so I don't need to put my Milo in it and Molasco mint tea and all kind of things to pump up the flavor. Some of the almond milks on the market are just way too black for me. But this one is really nice and creamy. All right, so you wanted to go to the article now? Let's go to the article now.
Yes, we're at the article now.
Can you make it a little bigger? I need to be able to read it. Or you better you read it, Tony. Because I don't have all my glasses and I'm going to fumble on the words.
Mountain housing hurdles for young professionals. Almost daily, Jamaican young professionals on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter, clamor for the crash of the housing market in hopes of being able to afford their own homes. Iqbal, how do you pronounce that? Shivera, a junior attorney at law, is one of the bunch that has had his fair share of housing woes. He said he has been on the hunt for his own place for over 4 years with little success.
All right, so let's take the first part. So the first part of it is you're clamoring for a crash, a housing crash. I can guarantee you that even if the crash comes tomorrow, 99% of you will not be ready. You won't have, you don't have any savings. You don't know how much money you qualify for. You have not been looking at any houses, so you don't even know where the prices are that you're supposed to be looking for. 99% of Jamaicans in Jamaica will not be ready for the housing crash. And I can guarantee you that this is only
Savvy investors.
the business people or the investors who will be able to take up a crash if it happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to tell you that crash won't happen. So don't look for it.
Mm-hmm.
Agree with me, Tony, or disagree?
I agree because real estate in Jamaica, the bulk of real estate in Jamaica is owned by very few. And they're not going to allow the crash to happen.
No. That's what you all don't understand.
It's not like in those larger countries where almost every little person owns a little piece of real estate.
Something.
It's not like that here. And what happened in those larger countries, so they buy and then sell and buy. So they only own one property.
Yeah. They buy and sell, buy and sell, buy and sell. In Jamaica, persons buy and hold, buy again, hold, buy again, hold. And most persons only buy one property. So they're not selling.
Yeah.
They have no reason to sell, right? Here, when we do sell, we sell when there's a divorce. One. We sell when we're migrating. Two. We sell when there's a death in the family. Three.
And sometimes we don't really sell when there's a death.
Well,
that's why we have so much debt left properties.
Yeah, but we have gotten a lot of properties for sale that the persons have died, right? They go through the probate and they call us to sell it. I'm trying to think of another instance when they do sell. Young people don't sell as a first thing. Sellers are over 50 years old, correct?
Yeah.
If they're under 50, it is a deadlift.
Or a divorce.
So those are the three reasons. Jamaicans are not selling just because they want to move every 5 years or they want to move every 7 years and, kind of
And they certainly don't sell for new jobs.
New jobs, right? So person's going to work in St. Anne and have a property in Kingston and St. Andrew and Montego Bay and those places. They're not going to sell their property in Kingston to go and work in St. Anne. They're going to lock up the place, one. They're going to rent it out, two,
Or just commute.
or just commute. Just go back and forth. Um, to because it's not that far. Plus, the government of Jamaica, they have now given us highways and byways and all kind of fanciness. We don't need to do that anymore. So those of you on X, formerly Twitter, looking out for a crash, not gonna happen. No, no. When saying that crashes have happened in the past, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those crashes that happened in the past are because of political reasons. Is that political reason still a possibility or strong? From where I sit, I don't think so. We're in a stable political, economical climate now in Jamaica. As a matter of fact, there's another reason why the crash is not going to happen as you would want it to. The persons who are overseas who earn more money than us are clamoring to come back. Not only some of them are clamoring to come back, some also are preparing themselves now to come back. So they're buying the property here in preparation for coming back because the countries that they're in, they're looking at some, maybe we might have an economic instability, a political instability. They might start a war, this, that. The truth is, if there is any instability in a country, the place you want to be is in Jamaica. You want to be in Jamaica if there's an instability. Why? Your survival is higher. Your survival rate is higher. Why? What do you need to survive?
Shelter.
You need shelter.
Which you already bought.
Right. You need food, right? You need water. You don't even need electricity. You have the sunshine. So you have sunshine. And you have land. You can plant your own food. So let us say there's a famine coming. If they call a famine tomorrow, if you're in Jamaica, Jamaicans, we can put our shoulders to the wheel and within 2 to 3 months we will have food. We can start planting a callaloo, with cabbage, with this, with pak chow, with this, with that, and we will have food. We will have food. If you want, and we don't have any winters. We don't have to worry about heating and those things, right? If we don't have any oil for electricity and all of that. I went through that in Gilbert. 3 months without electricity. And I tell you, we survived. We know if we use a coal iron if we want to iron something. You don't want to iron it where the clothes mash up same way. Last time I went to work with my clothes crushed. Remember, we have the rain, so you can catch your own water. So if you want, if there's any instability anywhere, the first place you should head for is where?
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Oh, but to be fair, when you had the whole Gilbert incident,
Yeah.
we still had people alive in society who knew how to do those things.
Yes.
Like people had like grandma's age would have been alive who know how to use a coal presser or whatever, right?
Coal iron.
Coal iron. What we left with now is your generation.
What?
You know to use a coal iron?
Of course. But I don't know how to light a coal stove.
So how are you going to teach Rachel and I how to go do that?
No, man.
Google it.
We have enough men in our society. They're all over. I was clearing a foundation for one of the young ladies that I mentor, right? She's dining out her home now. And the excavator was there working. And there were these 3 elderly men just came out and was watching the excavator. They're all over. They're not far. I was there for about 2 hours chit-chatting. I would talk about women, we talk about everything under the sun. So they're there for the knowledge, right? So if anything happens, you want to be in Jamaica. No. Another reason why this crash is not going to happen. The government of Jamaica gets 2% transfer tax when a sale happens in real estate. Every time I sell a piece of real estate, the lawyers, send the sale agreement to the stamp office, which is controlled by the government, to stamp it. But before they stamp it, they're going to go and check the property and make sure that Miss Davis is not underselling this property, right? So if I'm selling this property for 12 million, I think they're holding on to a property for us right now. Which one is it? It's gone for the one in Westmoreland.
Oh yeah.
It's the valuation is a piece of land. Valuation came out at 5.5, so we are selling it for 5.5. It went to the stamp office and they're saying, no, hold on a minute here. No, no, no. This is not can't be the value. They've gone to check it. So they're going to check it. So let us say they come back now and say, oh, this thing valued $10 million. Now the owner has to pay 2% of 10 million, not 2% of 5 million. So guess who the owner is going to, what the owner is going to do next? If you were the owner, what would you do?
You have two options.
Either cancel the sale
Mm-hmm.
or you say to the buyer, listen, you're saying the value is 10 million. What do you want to do? Kind of thing. You know what I mean? So this is what is this is a check and balance in the system. So you're not allowed to, the government on one hand is saying we have to check these values because we want to make sure you're not undervaluing this thing. Now remember, government itself owns a lot of real estate. The banks own a lot of real estate. Business people, investors, and so on own a lot of real estate. Your pension funds, all of these things own a lot of real estate. So on the books, the real estate carry a certain value. Nobody wants to see this real estate value in 100 billion here, standing by the blanket value now 2 billion. No, no, no. Instability in the economy. So on the one hand, you have the government doing that. All right, let us look at the banks now. For the most part, you would have taken a mortgage to get your property. Next week, just remind me, Tony, I need to discuss the whole thing about the equity, right? Now, as the owner of the property, so let us say you bought this property for $5 million, and it now values $10 million today. So 5 years ago, you bought it for 5 million. Today, it values 10 million. You were paying your mortgage. You lost your job. Something happened. Now you're struggling. You can't pay the mortgage, but you still owe the bank 5 million, right? But the property value is 10 million. Can the bank sell your property for $5 million and that's it? Don't give you no money even though it valued 10 million. If that happens in other countries, it doesn't happen here, right? It doesn't happen here. The bank has to go and do a valuation on the property. When they do a valuation, they will also get something called a for sale value. So they'll get a market value and a for sale value. I don't know if we have any. We do some work evaluations. Next week I'll probably look at one and show you. So there's always a value and a for sale value. And that for sale value is usually maybe anywhere, can be anywhere from 5, 10, 15, I would say maybe 20% the most. But we look at one and calculate it and see what it is. So the bank cannot sell your property for $5 million that you owe them because you have the right to get the equity back out of your property in Jamaica. I don't know about other countries, right? So this is one of the reasons, checks and balances in the system, why the properties don't drop out of the sky. No, if the bank tries to sell the property, so they usually go with auction first, then they go with private treaty. When they go to that stage, you will still have the right to get this back, this money, the difference of what they sold it for and what the bank actually is owed. But let us say they can't find a buyer. They now have to apply to the courts to get a foreclosure. That's how foreclosures go in Jamaica. And it takes a little while too.
Years.
It takes a little while. So when you say a bank of a foreclosure, some of you have asked me for that list and you've gotten it. So you on the system, you see the foreclosures. The bank actually owns it. So the bank has now taken off the person's name because the court has said, listen, you have had more than enough time to redeem yourself with the mortgage. More than enough time the bank has tried to sell this property so that you could get back some equity, and it just not happening. So we are foreclosing. So they have foreclosed and the bank now owns the property. So the bank can now sell the place for anything they want. Right? But it's at that point. So these are the checks and balances. I should say, those of you on X are clamoring for this market crash. Look around you. Jamaica, we have lots of properties right now that are closed up, locked up. Nobody lives there. What does that tell you?
And they're not for
Jamaicans,
sale.
they're not for sale. Jamaicans would prefer to lock up those houses
That's selling for little
than
or
sell it
nothing.
for little. No, you know which time I hear that? I'm not giving my place of little or nothing. I'm not doing that. I work very hard. The average Jamaican works very hard for a property, right?
Mm-hmm.
So don't sit around there waiting for that. What you're to do is figure out what you can afford, how much deposit you have, and buy what you can afford. All right, let's jump back into the article now.
Now, hold on. There was a
You
question.
have a follow-up
Well,
question?
a top comment. Currency Walk says, what a topic. Bought my first house in 2007, 140K at 6% interest. I was only making 34K a year. Begged my brother to buy a new property at 289K. He was making over 80K. Interest at 3.5%. He told me there are other ways to build wealth. Now interest is over 6% and same house is over 500K. Him and his girlfriend make over 230 a year and now they're crying about house prices and wishing for a crash. Best time to buy real estate 20 years ago.
No, no,
Other
no.
time, best time now.
No currency war. Best time, yes.
Look how he missed out on his wealth jumping over 250K by him merely buying a house.
Yeah, yeah. Best time currency walk is no. Anytime no. And but what they're missing is buying what they can afford. No. That's what they're missing, you know. Everybody wants to live here, there, and everywhere, and they come and they see you. Them grow up in this house and them say, oh yeah man, mommy can buy this and she live here, so whatever I go beside. I'm not going to Spanish Town and Waterford and Portmore and me not going to the country.
He told the Gleaner the main issue is cost and location. Being an attorney puts me in a very tight position here. It would have been ideal to live in and around Kingston, but the rent prices being quoted in the US dollar is not facilitative to a counsel who is 2 years at the bar. Shivera said he's willing to spend up to 100K for rent, but even that is still not enough. At my price point, the amenities are way below standard, especially for someone who is in my profession where safety is definitely a concern that is valid. I cannot just jump and go live in the middle of nowhere based on the nature of the job. So that adds another layer of difficulty in my housing hunt. He continued, I've rented, but it was just not working out. The difficulties that I speak about are not perceived, they are actual. I have actually rented within my price point, and it just makes no sense. For one, I was commuting the same amount of distance as if I was living at home, and the amenities are just not up to par. So he saw me just go back a me yard and stay with my mother. That's as good as it gets. Though the prices for both buyers and renters locally are high, real estate agent Courtney and Wallace said the situation may not be as dire as we think.
All right, let's look at what Mr. Um,
Shivera.
Shivera said. So you want to back up? So he's saying location and price. Yes, everybody, location and price goes together. Location and price goes together. Right? So basically, the powers that be, they're saying if you're earning this amount of money, this is where you live. You're earning that, this is where you're gonna live, and so on. Um, what will happen is that sort of a young country like Jamaica, you know, your parents, if they had done what they were supposed to do, buy what they can afford at the time, your parents would have probably matured into other spaces as they go along, as they got pay increases and so on. But if there are like some persons who did not take the opportunity when it came, so like I went to Spanish Town in 1989, 1990, bought a house for 175,000, I think it was 200,000 with escalation. And that's Jamaican dollars I'm talking about, guys. It's only not US dollars. So let's say it's 200,000. No,
It's funny, like your house price is not even a deposit now.
not even. Now I was earning something like $2,000 a month, right? And you're gonna say, "Oh, it was so easy, Miss Davis." No, I had to get somebody to co-sign the loan just the same. But I was persistent that I got this mortgage, right? And I got this property. And luckily for me, I did. Because by the time 1995 came, the inflation went through the roof. And that is what has happened now. So we were in a kind of depression in 2008, 9, 10, right up, coming right up. Now, from 2020 with the pandemic, the inflation again is through the roof. So the prices have doubled. But you must double down. Who said it? Currency walk? You must double down and buy the property that you can afford at the time. Now you talk about amenities. Are amenities necessary to live? You must think about at the stage that you're at in life and what is necessary. You're trying to meet a basic need, which is shelter. Are you trying to meet a need of amenities? A swimming pool, a gym, a this, a that.
Maybe amenities that he's referring to is those security.
The security, all right.
Remember, he said he's a lawyer.
Does he is his security risk any higher than maybe a policeman or a soldier
Probably not.
or even me? Is it any higher?
Maybe his risk is higher than yours, but probably not from a police or a soldier.
Right, point of view, right? Besides,
And if you can only afford $100,000 in rent,
if you
like
can,
yeah, that can be earning a whole heap of money where you're going to get big cases that require top level security.
he may be sitting on big cases. He's not presenting the case, but he may be the research person.
Oh, so you mean
Yeah, he may be the research person, but he should be behind the scenes, I would imagine, right? Not up front in the courtroom and all that. Um, so we have to think about what it is you want. You know, it's like when somebody comes to me looking a house to buy and I'm showing them and they're saying, "Oh, this place too small." I said, "Too small for what?" And they said, "My bed can't hold in here." I'm like, "Your bed?" I said, "How about you? Can you hold in this room?" And that's when they stop to think, why am I buying this property? Are you buying it for the bed? Or the big living room furniture, or the big fridge? Or you're buying it for yourself? You can step into the house all by alone, some are whole in the space. So you have to think, and it is you that you want to shelter. It is not the fridge and the stove and the mattress, the king size.
And you know, it's funny having a house with no furniture and there's less burdensome.
Oh my gosh, Tony, tell me about
The
it.
minute you put furniture,
minute
in,
you
you,
put fur-
you give yourself work.
Work, yeah, all this cleaning and whatever. Like, no, yesterday, no, I was like, come along. Last week, I was like, that's where I got sick. Well, that's where it came down on me. And I'm looking at these blinds and I'm like, why on earth did I spend this almost a 300, was about 400,000 I got for blinds? I go like this, whoop, dirt, whoop, dirt.
You just give yourself more work.
I'm telling you, which I did, you know, I have some like Valance curtains. I took those down, dumped them in the machine, never washed, I could put them up back. Never again. I'm not putting in any blind. Strictly curtain, wash and go. So, because now I'm gonna have to go use that thing that you send me, that long stick thing.
To clean
For go
them.
clean them. And me have to go clean them now. I'm like, God, what did I do to myself? I'm gonna have to go get my HVAC vacuum out of the storeroom. But
The Buffalo says, but a family member may want to sell low to another family member. So will they still tax on the
yes, they
evaluation
will.
amount?
Yes,
Yes.
they will. Remember, the government wants their 2%, right? Um, so everybody knows. So you have to think what it is that you're trying. Get back to reality now. It's really basic shelter you need. If it's gym you want, you can go buy a gym membership. You can go swim at the YMCA if you want, right? You can even go swimming up. I have so many people I've sold swimming pools to. I'm not swimming pools. But their complexes come with swimming pools, right? If I really want to swim, I can call up one of them and say, hey, you want to swim in? Let me. Like my good brethren up the road or something. But not even a 1 minute drive if I really want to jump into a swimming pool, right? Um,
The
so is it think about it now. Is there amenities? All right, so we'll soon take the 100,000 and see what he could actually get for the 100,000. Let's continue now.
hold on. London to Jamaica says, hi, good morning, girls. Morning.
Morning.
Staffy says, what age range is young? Also, what income bracket is middle class as it range from person to person? London to Jamaica says, get my home now. Miss Happy. Yes, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Gigi says, bought my house 25 years ago for 2.1 million in Kingston. No value 40 million. Buy Jamaican real estate.
Yes, just buy.
Corin says, you are right, Miss D. He's looking at what I own now and want it. And he could have had, he listened as learned from you. I share with him. In the 4 years I have known you, I know of a house and a land.
Right.
Nice.
Nice currency. Nice. Congrats. Congrats. And you don't regret buying it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to figure out what has he been looking for 4 years. He could not have been looking for what he can afford. He must have been looking for where he wants to live. That's the difference, you know. If you keep looking for where you want to live, you might find that your pocket not matching up where you want to live. You must always match your pocket. It's your pocket you must look at first, which is why you should not let the inflation chase you either. Remember, if you used to spend 40,000 at the supermarket every month, inflation is going, going, going. Don't let them push you to 60,000. When you go into the supermarket, you must spend the same 40,000.
You might have to change your brand.
Yes, you might have to change how much you buy, how you combine the foods, but do not chase the price or you will be broke. You will be broke. There's just no two ways.
I know what I like about where I am now when I'm near the corner shop is that I'm always interested to see what persons actually buy.
Oh, I know you're getting the list in Big Jilla aisle.
It's not even that, but they literally only buy to feed them today and into the morning.
Right?
That's it.
So what are they buying?
Like I was there the other day and somebody bought pound of rice, pound of cabbage, one onion, and one corned beef. And then I was there another time and somebody bought
my sinus is greeting everybody.
Bought pound of flour, 2 mackerel.
Brunswick mackerel. You buy Brunswick, you don't need onions.
No, I never buy the onion.
No, buy the onion. Right. So instead of buying 1 whole pound of onion, it go spoil. And 1 pound of tomato, you know it have a spoil because you not eat so much tomato. There is no point, guys. Like I've gone to the shop these days now, so I'm out Camelot hanging. So I want some plantain for fry. I'm gonna buy 1 plantain. $150.
You know, one planting lasts me 1 week.
Yeah, it lasts you. Me feed that one time. As long as it right, me fry that in my coconut oil, boom, I'm gone. But you have to really seriously do not follow the prices. Don't chase the price, right? And remember, it will only last for a time. But if you allow it to devastate you, you won't last out the 2 years or the 3 years at this inflation running. You're going to be toppled over.
You have to go sell this and
So, yeah, you can't get back up. So don't let the price chase you, right? So what else was he saying? All right, so we spoke about these amenities and all of that. Seriously consider what amenities you're looking for. You're not looking for really for amenities when you're just starting out to buy your first house and you're young. So he's probably maybe under 30. You're really looking for amenities and a salary that is only $100,000 rent you can afford. I don't think so. So we have to have a reality check here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So unless you come see these things. So like Xander and Zavon, born come see certain things. So did Rachel. I would have said Tonya. Tonya grew up in the struggles, right? Um, so you're in a good stead. So if you're lucky enough and your parents did what they were supposed to do and then made a solid foundation or whatever, then all you really need to do now is build on it. And I'll tell you too, you need to build on it. So Tony and Rachel can't come see 50 house and sit down back on them Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Them still have to add to it, build on it, take care of it, protect it, or they're gonna lose it, right? So you still have to do the work. Let's continue.
Currency says, Jack getting ready to close on another property. Nice.
Nice.
The more I learn, the more I grow. It isn't what you make, but instead what you do with it. Said brother is making more than me and still not listening.
Right.
Right.
Yeah,
Kevin says the lawyer dude assists on a lot of cases, so his money should be tall. That lawyer can buy a Phoenix village.
Yeah, he can.
But Phoenix don't come with no amenities.
No amenities, and they are Portmore, remember one there Kingston. See, that's all of that. All of that. But if you start with a Phoenix village, then you can get yourself back into Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin says they want to live near Peter Champagne.
Same issue in every major city. People want to live in the city but can't afford it and then complain.
Mhm.
People want to live in new modern apartments in Kingston 6 to 8 for 80,000. That makes sense. What is 80,000?
80,000.
80 million. It's 80 million for a three-bedroom apartment now in Kingston 6.
80 million.
80 million.
If I had 80 million, would I buy that? I'm still thinking. Well, I don't like apartments. That's the first thing. 80 million could literally build me 4 houses. And it could be me 8 if I put my mind to it.
It could buy you one very old house in Kingston 6.
With all the work that go with that, another 80 million. The roof, the this, the plumbing, the this, the that. May as well you buy that apartment.
I'm saying this is why they buy the apartment for 80 million.
Oh, because...
Right, they would love to have a house in Kingston 6 for 80 million, but there's so much work to go in that.
So much work.
So I might as well just buy a 3-bedroom apartment for 80 million.
Yeah. What kind of mortgage is that? All right, guys, let's look at it.
Yeah, our apartment don't rent for 80,000 in Jamaica in Kingston 6.
All right, so currency.
1 bedroom is for 100,000 with no amenities in the complex.
Mm-hmm. So he says, currency says, you see how you can be very educated and still financially illiterate. And therein lies the problem. As I keep saying, it's not the money that you earn. It is what you do with it. People say it's not money, how much you earn is what you save. Savings is rubbish, guys. It's not how much you earn, it's what you take the money and do with it. Now, the only thing that is going to be able to keep pace with the inflation, So inflation is like a horse, galloping, galloping, Sometimes it a trot, But sometimes it take off like a bullet, Tony, and it a move fast.
It's like a tree.
Is what? The only thing that can keep pace. So when it's slow, real estate I go hold it so with it. When it a gallop like a bullet, real estate I go pick up speed same way and gallop with it and run with it and hold it neck to neck and carry it. That is what happens when the property can move from 2.5 million to 40 million currency war. Because it is the inflation that does that. It is not that you have done anything to the property. The house we're sitting in now, I actually built it for a 2.5 loan from, well, the land was 340,000 first thing. The loan was 2.5 from CIBC and a 1 million from NHT. 3.5 million. Now value 40 million currency work. But I didn't do anything to this house. From my ability, I just live in it with these guys here.
I mean, you painted
We
it.
painted it when Xander was coming, and now it coming like he never paint because him see one of them brother run through this place here. But the point is, it is the inflation that drives it to the 40 million. It is not the fact that you did any this and you do that and you do all these fancy things. So what does that tell you? The inflation is going to ride anyway. Now imagine, let us say I really had the 3.5 and the 340,000 about 4 million. I don't think the 4 million would have value 40 million now. Because there's no other instrument, there's no other thing that you can buy with that money that is going to keep pace with that horse called inflation.
No, that's it. If you had that 4 million in the bank, it would value basically nothing now.
Well, you couldn't buy the $40 million house. That's the first.
It would be the deposit.
Stop it. All right. It says, morning, auntie. Morning. Niece and nephew, morning. All right. So Safi said rent 80,000. Yeah, Safi, 80,000 rent. Can't rent. 80,000 rent is a Portmore rent now.
Yeah, Phoenix, 2 bed.
Phoenix,
1 bath, basic. No
Yeah.
fencing and no grill work.
No grass.
No grass. Nothing.
Nothing. Lucky if you get a close line.
Yeah.
All right. So let's continue the story and see what else is there to learn. So we were at the point where the real estate agent was going to trip in here now.
All right. Though the prices for both buyers and renters locally are high, real estate agent Courtney Ann Wallace said the situation may not be as dire as we think. Speaking with the Gleaner, she said young professionals may need to consider options other than the ready-made high-rise apartments embellic of an episode of Succession. True. Right now is relative because from we little bit we are here say property appreciates. This is something that is never going to change, said the Century 2021 properties agent, noting that crime is one of the rare factors that causes property to devalue. She explained the high demand...
Hold on. You hear that, people? Crime is one of the rare factors that causes property to devalue. So even in the so-called lower inner cities and those things that we love to talk about, we love to talk about Waterford and crime. I'm here to tell you, the first Waterford house I sold back in the day was 3.5 million. I sold one now, selling one now for 12 million. And Tony and sold one for what? 17 million, right? Just look at that. So crime is one of the rare factors that causes property to devalue. Rare. Continue.
Noting that crime is one of the rare factors that causes property to devalue, she explained that the high demand for housing in Jamaica contributes to the current high prices.
Wait, stop again. Notice high demand. High demand. And we don't have enough goods to meet it. So those of you who do economics, you know that less supply High demand mean high price. You know that scarcity.
For me, my phone is filled with persons trying to seek somewhere to rent or live versus the number of persons that are actually selling or renting. It's very small. So you're gonna find that once demand exceeds supply, the price is going to go up.
What's the real estate agent's name again?
Courtney Wallace.
Courtney Wallace.
She continued. In addition to that, there are other factors of real estate that the average person would not consider, such as construction or installation of amenities. Some of these things are imported, some of these things are produced, and maybe the cost of material to produce them has gone up. So, just as how our food and petrol costs have gone up, inflation affects everybody right across the board.
Mhm. Yes, it does.
For one resident, for one Kingston resident, while the process to find an apartment took nearly half a year, she's happy with what she was able to find. From the former Manchester resident who opted to remain anonymous said she pays 45,000 for a studio apartment off Dunrobin Avenue in St Andrew. The only thing is, I would love a larger space, but better with better ventilation and some kitchen cabinets because I have a lot of things and they're kind of just packed in a box.
All right. So let's take that. Let's take that paragraph. 45,000 for a studio apartment. Now that is a tiny apartment. I think I know the apartments she's talking about. Back in the day, we sold one for almost 7.5 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you're gonna get tiny space. If you have things packed in a box, there are things you don't need.
Especially if you're renting.
When you're a renter, everybody, when you're a renter, you are to move as nimble and as slim and as, what's the word I'm looking for? Bare as your deer. That's not the word I'm looking for, but you get the message. You know what I mean. You are to just have your one suitcase and you can move with it around with it and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Though you see, it is so easy to walk into courts and get credit and the banks, everybody sending you credit cards and earning a little money and you want a nice bed and because when you entertain you want people to say yes, you look nice or whatever. So remember, you're in a rented space, right? So when you get your first little job, your aim is to start save the money to buy your own property, right? Not to make Mr. Courts rich and the banks rich because that's what you're doing. When you're
You
buying
can,
all
it's a
these things
courts and they're going to be there forever.
forever. I
I
mean,
mean, you need to go organize your house first and then you can go to Mr. Courts.
right, and shop around and do all these fancy things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if the things are in a box, I would say you need to examine that. Some of those things you could probably just call a garage sale and you would have your deposit. What do you think, Tony?
Maybe.
Maybe, right? But you could have a start.
Mm-hmm.
Her bank account would thank her for it. All right, continue. And she says she want better ventilation. So I just imagine how tiny it is.
And sometimes you'll get better ventilation if you just remove some of the furniture.
Yes, and make the air circulate. Because sometimes you have the other bed against the window with this big bed head blocking the breeze. And, I love to watch these Korean shows.
Mm-hmm.
And the rich people,
Mm-hmm.
their house is so sparse. And everybody sleeps on a something they roll out on the floor. It's
In
like
the
they
Korean
don't,
shows?
yeah, it's
The
like
modern Korean shows or the older
the
ones?
modern Korean shows. The people don't have bed. They have like this roll out mat that they roll out and sleep and then they roll it up in the mornings. And I don't think I could sleep on one of those because I can't get down so low anymore. But um,
You know you can
Jamaicans,
still if you practice, right?
man, well, I probably need to practice, but again, I'm not motivated.
I know because your bed is so high. I know my bed is currently low, so I have to be practicing.
All right. Yeah, Tony and is like a Korean here now. Oh, you made the transition good though, you're not complaining.
No, I mean, well, with me and living situation, that's because of how you raised me. I
Mm,
kind of had just to go with the flow.
right, you know. You continue, Tony.
So while this tenant experienced relatively luck in finding a place to live, the horror stories about the endless search for a new resident run rampant on social media. Sharing her own experience, Wallace said, "It breaks my heart sometimes when persons call me and I can't find them anywhere to rent or live. And it's not even the price range that is always the issue. It's really just that we have 100 people wanting to rent and only 20 rentals on the market. So, landlords, if you're listening, please open up your homes." I tell you, some people rather just lock up the house.
Can't the sad story with tenants.
Attempting to provide alternate solutions, Wallace said, "One of the things I tell clients that are seeking to buy a home, especially young persons, because I am young too, and obviously we all have goals, is to be as financially responsible as we can. As yes, we know when our parents were buying home, it was easy. Homes were selling for what, 30, 60,000? I don't know. But
Hold on, stick up here. Did she just say that?
now it's a lot more competitive.
Hold on, stick up here.
Shouldn't we read her quote before you comment?
No man, I need to comment on this about easy. We know when our parents were buying homes, it was easy. That's for sure. I don't think so. Homes are selling for what, 30, 60,000? As if 30, 60,000 was money.
Yeah, but I don't think she's making that easy as in financially easy. I think she's making the easy as in like when you were buying your Fairview Park home, there were so many houses on the market that you could have
No, there weren't.
delayed your decision and come back.
No, there weren't so many houses on the market. There was Fairview Park, and that was it. That was a price point, but it was in Spanish Town, so nobody wanted to go to Spanish
Yeah,
Town.
but there were lots of the Fairview Park home.
No, I
Because
had to buy in
remember,
phase two. But what I'm saying, the point I'm making is, again, it comes down to what? Buy what you can afford, right? So I was looking in Kingston.
mm-hmm.
So in my eyes, there would not have been a lot, and it would have been difficult. It's too expensive. Can't find it until my coworker, my boss, pointed me to Fairview Park.
Yes, but what point I am trying to make is that they pointed you to Fairview Park twice, and you're still able to get a Fairview Park. Now in this dispensation, if somebody had pointed you to Phoenix, Phoenix would have been finished. You would have time to come back around again to get a Phoenix. Because we have less houses on the market and more people trying to buy them.
Well, you couldn't even get the Phoenix. 20,000 people chasing 2,000 houses.
Right.
So it's a lot more competitive to get a home, meaning there are more buyers than what's available. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Than homes that are available.
Even in your price range.
Even in your price range. And well, if your price range is under 20 million, you're in trouble if you want a new house. Even if you don't want a new house, because the Portmores have actually gone up to that. The greater Portmores that we used to sell for 6.5. Man, guys, I tell you, you just have to jump in and buy what you can afford. All right, continue.
But now it's a lot more competitive, and to get a home, the best you can do is to utilize the debt from the bank as best as you can. Some people don't like to hear about debt because they run from term loans and mortgages, but hug it up. Let it be your best friend, because at the end of the day, you can put your money to work.
Okay, so why should you hug it up? So let us say you're paying 100,000 in rent. Wouldn't it be better to convert the 100,000 to a mortgage?
Mm-hmm.
That way, because the rent you're giving it to your landlord, but you're not getting any return, right? At least when you're paying 100,000 in mortgage, you have the chance of owning the property. You also are building back the equity in that property. So you kill two birds with one stone. The book that teaches us that actually is a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. Those of you who haven't read it yet or haven't been into the book club, I think this gentleman would welcome our book club. You would learn a lot. Everything is about perspective. Looking at it through this eye as opposed to this eye makes a difference.
And it helps when you don't complain. Complaining blocks all reasoning.
Yes, it does. That's so true, guys. If your husband says to you, baby, let us move the bed to the right, and the first thing you start to do is complain. Oh, we don't do this, and oh, I'm not able to sleep, and instead of opening up your mind. So why you want to move it to the right? What is the advantage? How do you see this happening? Kind of thing, right, Tony?
Yeah, and it's only a bed. Just move it. If it doesn't work, you can move it back.
Can't move it back. Yeah, so the best thing you can do is stop complaining, as Tony says. Life hands us lime and lemons all the time. We have to learn how to make lemonade from it. All right. Continue with the story.
She continued, another great option that a lot of people overlook is land. Start with land if you can and try to build. And when I say land, you don't have to build the mansion at once. You can build and progress. To me, with the current real estate market, even in terms of the affordability of young persons, I always urge them to consider land. And also, if you can find an area where you see that maybe in 10 years it's going to be highly improved and built up area, invest in the land there. Also addressing the self-employed.
Hold on. Such a possibility now exists with Palmetto Pines on St. John's Road.
Mm-hmm.
There will be other developments from where I sit. They're coming. I know that. So definitely, that is an area that she says. Also in the Draxon area on the north coast. Also some parts of Montego Bay where they're building a new road. So yes, I agree that you can invest in land and you will see the value of that going up, and it is cheaper to invest in for the land. We're going to do that comparison later. All right, continue, Tony.
Before we move on, there's some questions. The Buffalo Soldier says bare bones. Yes, that's what Mama was trying to say.
Yeah, bare bones.
And Staffy says, why do people insist on amenities and then don't use them?
Exactly.
It's the idea of it to say that you live in a complex with amenities.
Yeah,
it's a status thing. Furniture is not an asset. Currency Walk says. That's so true. English says, I'm so happy to tune in with you guys. I did know that the lifetime was changed from the I did know that the lifetime was changed from the afternoon. Kendrick says, yes, it was easier in all aspects. In percent, in it's harder now. Cost of living to wage is higher. Oh. Staffy says, Miss D is never selling her Camelot home. Too valuable. I will only gain value as Jamaicans and North Coast developers. Develops. Cola says, hey, Claudia and Tony, this is Nikki McFadden from Fairview. Happy to tune in.
Hi, Nikki. Oh my gosh. Hi, Nikki. So Nikki is when I bought Fairview Park, Nikki and her mom lived also in Fairview Park.
Miss Monica? No. What was her name?
What was her name, Nikki? What was your mommy's name again? No, it's not Miss Monica.
Oh, Miss Monica was the other lady.
Yeah. Hi, Nikki. As a matter of fact, Nikki did so I was a telephone operator and I bought my house, right? Nikki did IT.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Nikki when she got her first job.
Mm-hmm.
So Nikki's like this lawyer, who, you did this big thing and you get your first job. You get
Miss Audrey.
Miss Audrey, yes, Nikki. And I remember when Nikki bought it, was it a Nissan Sunny, Nikki? And she let me drive it. And I tell you the time, I said, may I drive? I think at the time, we did have the VW bug, Nikki, I think. And I said, well, a little bit, man. It wasn't even a new Nissan Sunny,
But it's newish.
Like when you buy a Japanese domestic,
yeah.
Right? I'm gonna say, Nikki, I tell you, that is what you did for me. When I drove the car, I was like, my gosh.
VW bug, yes, you did
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Cause my video was standard, and her she bought an automatic.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to remember if what we not driving from, Nikki. Was it from Hillshire where you bought the property, or was it from Arborview? I don't remember. But Nikki made me drive the car. I'm telling you, the car was just slick on the road. I'm saying, after that, I said, no more standard. I have to build up myself to an automatic. Hi, Nikki. Good to hear from you. How the boys? Supposed to good. Yeah, so Nikki did IT. Nikki, connect back with me. My number is, you're supposed to have my number, 2926776.
Hellshire to New Kidston.
Yes, so you Nikki, remember, yes, Nikki got a house in Hellshire. I see she never regretted. Nikki bought a house early too. Early, guys. Yeah, man, Nikki was my good friend. Our mom used to sew for me too. Um, Hi, Nikki. Good to hear from you, girl. If you're still in IT, give us a call because we're struggling with an IT problem there right now. My number is 2926776. How is Lex? Have you heard from Lex? Lex was one of our other good friends. So we used to be young together, roaming around in Fairview Park.
Yeah, Nikki, were the same age?
No, because I think
You're a little older.
I remember Nikki was in university when she left school. She went straight to university. Yeah. So Nikki's in med school. Oh, great. And choose a hard profession, no, Nikki. You tell him we're going to IT, man. But we need medical professions anyway. All right, so Tony, you finished with the article? Where you reach with the
No.
article? All right, so we're just picking out the points as we go through so we can discuss it.
Also addressing the self-employed, which would include both influencers and entrepreneurs, Wassi said creating a paper trail is vital. I cannot tell you how many self-employed people come to me and have them dirty money. She said, pausing for emphasis. They have the money, but their business is not registered. They don't pay taxes. They have money in their house. They don't even have it in the bank. So legally on paper they aren't making a dime. So when it's time for them to even try to get a mortgage from the bank, they don't qualify because on paper they're unemployed.
And that's what this unemployment business and self-employed. I am begging those of you who are self-employed, please register and pay your taxes. That is the only way you're going to be able to support the earnings to show and get the leverage that you need to buy a property. We see too many of you coming to us now, even at Palmetto Pines. The wife has a job, she's working, or NHT is being contributed, her taxes and everything. And you come standing up beside her and told her the money's not even under the mattress. You could have supported her by having your NHT benefit ready and good to go, right? But the only way to do that, so those of you who are self-employed listening to me, you're going to go to Housing Agency of Jamaica, which is in Crossroads.
Caledonia, right?
Caledonia, which is across from
Natal
Hospital or Nepal, place I go in very often. You're to go there, your ID, your TRA, your NIS card. Go there and they will set you up on the system and tell you how much to pay every quarter. Go there and stop hiding out. All right?
One hand can't clap.
Well, that's what Jamaicans seem to think, so one hand can't clap. You need support.
Yeah, but they're the ones who decided to be in the partnership. So make it count.
Yeah, make it count. You can't reach 10, 15, 20 years and you're still looking at each other wondering what happened and what next. No, guys, that's so sad. Don't do it. Go and register. Housing Agency of Jamaica. All right, Tony, continue. We'll need to soon wrap up. Let's see if we can finish this It's such a long article, but I think we brought out the main points already. Or do you want to continue quickly?
Um, for Shivera, however, he's calling on the government to make a way. Government has to legislate against these developments. That's the only thing that's going to stop it. Because if inflation continues to affect the market along the line and it's going today, nothing can realistically change without government legislating or making affordable an actual priority that is not funded by private developers but is actually funded and subsidized by government.
But I think government is trying now to make that move with National Housing Trust, in that they have now said to the banks, you give the loans, we want to keep our money to focus on building more low income houses. But the truth is, how many of those schemes you really think the government can build? Can they match the demand? They can't.
Not only that, too, if he wants a house in Kingston, where's government going to
Where
find land
where
in
where are they gonna
Kingston to
find that?
build
Yeah, where?
to build budget housing?
Besides, who is going to allow them to do that in Kingston? Do you think?
They tried it, remember?
Yeah, all
That
of
apartment thrown at back on New Kingston.
listen, it's not gonna happen. So if they come into St. Andrew and say, oh, we're going to put up these and whatever, whatever, every community around it is going to say, no, 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 no. You can't bring any $4 million apartment come here, so they're gonna quarrel, right?
Mhm.
So that's what the government is up against that as well. Um, so you
But
really
like the
just buy
Catherine
what you can
Estate
afford.
wasn't a bad initiative.
Where's Catherine Estates?
The matches box house, as they call it.
Where is it? Where?
In St. Catherine.
But that's in St. Catherine, at the back of nowhere.
Yeah, but to say government is not doing anything.
No, he didn't say that. He says he wants them to do more.
Oh, more.
Mhm. Making it affordable and an actual priority.
Yeah, but they have been. I mean,
I don't think they're making it a priority,
Money Musk.
but they have been doing the work. They have been doing the work.
Yeah.
But it's just that where they're putting, so Longville Park in Clarendon was one such. And as I said, Catherine Estates,
Money
one
Musk
such.
scheme that just came up the other day.
Right, Money Musk out in Clarendon again. So where they can in Hellshire, to they put up some up in the top of Hellshire.
Yeah.
So where they can
And
actually
Silver
find the
Sun
land,
too, in St. Catherine.
Silverstone and Old Harbor Road,
Yeah.
those were like what, 16, 17 million now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing Perth now in Mandeville actually.
Mm-hmm.
So Perth came out, and it was 19 million for actually a house. So where they can actually do these, where they can find the land big enough to do this, is that it's not going to be St. Andrew. St. Andrew, they're going to put up apartments like what they did on Ruthven Road, and they're still going to sell for 30 odd million.
Mm-hmm.
Because the truth is, it's all about aesthetics. Like, so countries like Canada do that. So a country like Canada will put up and somebody who lives in Canada can correct me. They will put up a high rise here, so, or put up a housing scheme here, so. And they will say a part of it is for low income
To sell or to rent?
to sell.
Oh.
And they will, I think, they mandate the developers to say 20 of these houses are for low income, right? Because what they're saying is, if I cannot understand what Canada is trying to do. Canada is trying to say, listen, the people have earned less money don't mean that they must live in this area. They must can still live in this area because whatever reason.
But to be fair, Mom, in countries like Canada, they can't just have all the rich people living in the city because their cities need lower income people to run the city.
But we also have lower income people living in the cities. It's just that those cities, we call them inner cities, but they were there before. In other words, we inherited those.
Yeah.
You understand? But Canada designs them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? I guess because they're a country that built out their own city by design. We tended not to have that. We tend to have a lot of informal settling and all of that. So we already have the people in the city who actually work in the city, right?
But they need
But
to
this-
design it in their system.
But this young man is saying that the government probably needs to look at a Canada system where they actually design it like that. However, our middle and our upper class, I think, would have a serious problem with that, right? They would come out swinging.
Mhm.
When they wanted to put Long Mountain up there on that hill, they had a serious challenge from the Beverly Hills people and all those persons, right? Who were
Mhm.
saying, no, 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 you can't put them close here up there, so da 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 was a hurdle. So even Operation Pride schemes, anywhere they went, they had a problem with them, right? So yes, government they have tried. I can tell you, throughout the years they have tried, but government also have the society to deal with. You understand?
Mhm.
So that's one of the hurdles. All right. So yeah, are you finishing the article? He also suggests that NHT.
He also suggests that NHD contribution can also apply to renters rather than only mortgages.
No way.
But that defeats the purpose.
No way. You cannot take my contributions that I give NHT, and I do pay a good amount of NHT contributions yearly. Yes, I do. You cannot take my contributions and give it to renters. Absolutely not. If you are really talking about renting and you can't afford it, then you should do exactly what you did. Go back home. Go back home until you can afford to buy somewhere. Right? But no, you cannot apply my contributions to renters. Hell no. No, 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 no. Take my contributions, build some homes that people can afford. I agree with that.
I am concerned about myself, but I am more concerned about the future generation. If I can't afford it and housing always appreciates, I'm wondering without active government legislation, Jamaica is heading towards a housing crisis and something needs to be done.
What the Jamaican government is doing, and I think is a good thing, is that they're expanding with the roads, which is a good thing. So there's a pretty road now. I was on it going to Yallas. Took me 12 minutes from Harborview to Yallas. No longer need to complain about getting into Kingston. So the developers now need to move out into the St. Thomas belt, find the lands, develop it, so that we're not clamoring still for St. Andrew. Remember where the development went. So the development went to the west, which was St. Catherine, where we are now with Palmetto Pines. And so housing schemes like Fairview Park, Ebony, McGill Palm, Willow Dean, all of those schemes on the outskirts of Spanish Town, those are the suburbs for the St. Andrew Belt. So is Portmore and Hellshire, everything in a Portmore and Hellshire, the suburbs. And I think it was the Wiccan family who actually said to the government, let us fix this causeway road and expand out into Portmore so that we could build massive houses for lower income, which they did. So they built 10,000 of those homes at the time out in Portmore. Those
Some
are what
large
we know
feet.
as, yeah, greater Portmore. That's what we know it as now. So yes, it is that we the government they have tried, and what they're doing now, as I say, is putting in infrastructure for the roads. So it's up to us now as developers now to get out there, get into the space, and do what we're doing. So as you know, we're out also in Portland. So EcoStead, the company I'm a part of, we have gone to Portland. So we're just trying to get that project executed, and then we'll see if we can probably move on to something else, somewhere else. But yes, get out developers, get out into St. Thomas now, which is the closest point now. Portland kind of still a little distance away from St. Andrew, but certainly they can now go into St. Thomas because they would have brought in the water lines and all of that. But as to whether now they can find the price for the property. I looked at the property in St. Thomas. It was only 3 acres. Again, the price not much for the development. You know what I mean, Tony?
Because the land too small.
Land too small, the price too high, and it's just not working out. But government, I think they're doing what they need to do. You as a citizen need to do your part. which is to save 10% of your money, as richest man in
Mhm.
Babylon says. I say you're to save 50% of your money. When you save that over 1 year, buy what you can afford. If it's an apartment you want in Kingston, buy what you can afford. You can buy one of them same little studio and rabbit and all those things, right?
Mhm.
All right, so let us look at land. Let us look at the land comparison.
Hold on, before you go on, Alexa had a question.
Mhm.
Can my uncle use his house that's fully paid off to buy another house?
Why not just buy another house? Why you need to buy that house? Use that house to buy another house.
Is she
Is it that you
talking?
don't have a deposit? So what you're talking about is a home equity loan. No. Hmm. Tricky. Is it the one house the uncle own? If I own one house and I finish paying off for it, I'm not giving back the bank that house. I'm holding on to the house. I'm going to find another deposit and go buy another house. Unless you really want to sacrifice the house. So in other words, you might have a house and you say, "Child, oh sir, willing to sacrifice
No,
the
that is
house.
the one house.
Willing to
Alexa says
sacrifice."
yes.
Says yes, it's a one house. Is in a good location. Is he over 60 already? Remember, you know, like me it's nearing 60 year now. I hear Nicola says she's younger. Yeah, Nikki younger than me. Nikki and Lex. I was like for them auntie.
Mhm.
Yeah. So um
Oh, Alexa says it's located in the ghetto, so he has it rented out.
all right. The ghetto. You say the ghetto, the bank is gonna give a loan. Think about that. There are some areas that the bank's not giving any loan. You know.
It's
Only
located in Marvelly.
tricky. Tricky. Only NHD will take that. Tricky. You have to check with the bank. I don't know. These banks are very selective. Put it that way. Some properties are not lending on. NHT will lend almost anywhere, but some properties the banks will not lend on. So you have to ask the bank first before you commit that, right? So yeah, I would probably take the loan, buy something else, but where? Marvally House taking that loan. I don't know if you can buy something in St. Andrew. We're talking about Portmore, Spanish Town.
But how much? I wonder how much a Marvelly house is worth.
Last one we tried to sell was a 4 million, long time. I did mash up. Marvel is on them join up too, you know, some of them join up.
Hmm.
All right. Any other questions? Tony, bring up the
So
information.
it's
Let me go through it.
either that way or selling it to buy something in a different area.
Mm. I'd probably sell it. But he would have to have the money. And how old is he? He would have to have the money to the income to can buy something else.
Hmm.
All right. So we're going to look at the comparisons of how the property values have moved. We're looking specifically at Green Acres, which is just across the street from where we are at Palmetto Pines. Tony, my almond milk is finished.
We have water.
I need a different cup. All right, so where's it? Where it wasn't it in a tablet?
You know what?
Wasn't it in tabular format? We'll have to go through this.
Yeah, I don't have a tabular format.
All right, scroll down. Let's start at in 1986.
Am I sharing the screen? Yes, I
Mhm.
am.
All right, so we were at Palmetto Pine, so we had reason to go and look at the history of land prices in the area. You can read.
In 1986, a lot in Green Acres was sold for 13,000 Jamaican dollars. Fast forward to 1987, and the same lot was resold for 24,000, showcasing a remarkable increase in value within just 1 year. The trend continued in 2004 with another lot in Green Acres fetched for 600,000 Jamaican. Astonishingly, In 2013, the same lot was resold for 2,750,000 Jamaican.
Mhm.
Now, let's fast forward to 2021, where similar lots are sold for 6.3 million. In a mere 2 years, the value soared. In 2023, a similar lot was resold for an impressive 9 million. This trajectory not only demonstrates the incredible growth potential of real estate investment, but also highlights the financial benefits of securing a piece of a flourishing community.
All right. So this was something we sent to the Palmetto Pines. The persons who had expressed an interest. So as you can see, the Green Acres community, which is just across from, started at 30,000 Jamaican dollars. Now, when Nikki and I were living in Fairview Park, I clamored to buy a Green Acres. I wanted to buy live in Green Acres because it's up on the hill. It is like a Beverly Hills in Spanish Town. And I wanted to buy one of those, and man, I just could not afford it, right?
I know. I remember we used to drive around there like on Sundays or
Yeah,
something,
man,
and just look at houses going up.
Yeah, couldn't afford it, right? And then here it is now. I'm just right across the street selling a subdivision,
Hmm.
fully gated with jogging trail and football field and lawn tennis court and what else, netball and all of that, right? And the lots actually start at 6.5 million, which is affordable. Two persons have their NHT, it's affordable. Now, you have a question, Tony. How do you add a child's name onto your house title?
Hmm.
You can add a child's name, yes, to your house title, but it must not have a lien from the bank. It has a lien, the bank has to agree, which 99% of the times they don't. So let us say you own the property without any bank lien on it. Then yes, you can add. Go to the NLA website. You can first of all you can ask a lawyer to do this or a paralegal to do it. If you want a recommendation, you can let me know. Um, or you can try and do this on your own as well. Let's go to the website
Which one?
nla.gov.jm. You can go nla.gov.jm. NLA is the land titling agency in Jamaica. Let's see if they have it readily. So it's a form that you would complete, get it notarized by the JP and everybody, and then you submit it with the original, your duplicate original title.
Where I go?
Where do I find it now? Resources. You're looking for the form. Um, forms. Online forms. I do believe it's a regular transfer form, So it's one of these forms now. Application. I want to go transfer. Click transfer. You're on it.
Mhm.
The data on the form. Maybe you can go word forms.
Mm-hmm.
Application. Transfer. You can also do a course at this company that gives you the background of how to do certain things, which I did years ago. I need to probably go back and do it. Course was, I think, was for a month. Tony, you should probably go do it. Not doing any more courses. That's my New Year's resolution. No more courses.
So you have one that you're trying to complete, though.
Exactly, and that's it. Done. I should be writing courses now. All right, here's a form.
Hold on, they're not seeing this screen.
So you're not seeing the screen, so they know where to go.
No, they're seeing this screen, but
Oh,
it opened up in a Microsoft Word document. They're not seeing that.
we're looking. See, Tony, we need to have this screen behind here because we tend to be looking away from our
Yeah, because
audience.
that screen is bigger.
Yeah, but you see, you need to align it so that it don't appear as if we're looking away from the audience. Your uncle lives in Fairview Park. You're telling him about Palmetto Pines, but he said he will not be in Jamaica to monitor the building part of the house process. Oh,
All right, so this looks like the document.
he's renting in Fairview Park or he owns Fairview Park. He wants to build. I mean, he can buy the land as an investment.
Mm, 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 mm.
Are you seeing it now?
Mhm.
All right, so this is it, and it literally tells you what to do, right? To the left. So first line, volume of folio. All that parcel of land, that place, parish. That's how you title. Give the full name. We do hereby transfer the transferee's name, details of a transferee. Where transfer is a minor, state is date of birth. Where transfer is a registered company, state its act of incorporation. Go through the form, see if you can fill it out on your own. If not, give it to a lawyer. You may want to keep it in joint tenants. That way, if anything happens, you will still own the property. There's a clause to that you want to put on it if he's a minor. To oops, what happened there? Every time I'm to find this clause, I can't remember. I call it the child's clause, but that's not the name of it. I'm gonna look it up and get it to you next week. Or WhatsApp me and ask me for it. Let me see if my WhatsApp will bring it up. Who did I send this clause to last? I can't remember.
Can you send it to me?
I sent it to you. But did I call it child clause or did I call it?
You did.
You have so many WhatsApp now. Ah,
Yeah, but I think we have it on email because I've interacted with it since last year.
I can't find it.
Probably. Excuse me a sec.
All right, so okay, so let me know. Were you able to? You know how to get the form, right? Based on what we just did. I want to check if you have any more questions because we soon have to wrap up. Oh yes, it's in your WhatsApp. Hold on. Oh, God for WhatsApp. Where you want me to send it?
Thank God for my memory that I know you sent it to me.
Where is it? Oh, well, I can't export it.
Where are you trying to export it to?
Trying to share it.
You mean to the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, I can do that from here.
Oh, you found it. Okay. Tony, a good thing you learned so much thing. All right. So we told you how to add the name. Did you get that? Who asked the question? Oh, Tony just posted it. So that's the clause. John Brown, banking system. I'm in foreign, ready to come home, but fear the banking system since you should. Put it this way: the only thing you must have in the bank is a loan. And when you
Yeah,
collect
real money must be the real estate.
yeah, real money, real estate. If you have that kind of crazy money that you worry every day, buy some land and do the land
And
banking.
if you have real estate money in the bank, that's crazy money.
Yeah. So if you have 6.5 million in the bank, you can buy Palmetto Pies and bank it there. So that's I call that land banking.
Right, he
Um,
owns in Fairview Park. Yeah.
okay. You have another question? It's Claudia, what are the banking system? But where's the clause? Did you drop the clause in?
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? I'm not seeing it. I want to read it. Who do you recommend for someone? WhatsApp me and I give you a natty number. Stonewall we use a retaining wall. That's the tried and true way. Tony, you can read that? The clause.
John Brown, student, born on the 24th day of August 1995, all of 5 Jamaica Close in the parish of St. Catherine, reserving unto said Mary Brown during infancy of said John Brown the full right and power to transfer or mortgage or by any instrument under the Registration of Titles Act to assign, charge, and or dispose of said land and any portion thereof as is he of the said land. Mary Brown was the only registered proprietor thereof.
Right. So what this is saying, when you put a minor on a title or even other things, real things, the minor cannot sign to do any transfer or to get any loan or anything. So what this clause does, this clause allows you, the adult, to still be able to mortgage, to transfer, to do all of that as if the minor was not on the title. So those of you wishing to add minors to titles, ensure that this clause is there. If you miss grabbing it here, WhatsApp Tony. Tony knows how to grab it. If you WhatsApp me, I might have a difficulty finding it. Tony knows how to grab it. Right? So WhatsApp her and let her give it to him. And ensure that your lawyer adds that title to add that clause to the title. All right. For someone to build a retaining wall, I would use a stone wall for a retaining wall. If you go onto my video, Red Hills stone wall, you will see us building a stone wall there. Any other questions? Or we're finished?
I think we're about finished. Yeah, we're about finished. With 10 minutes to spare.
All right. Any other questions, anybody? So we did the case study. What else did we want to bring out in that case study? You know, the land prices are crazy. Crazy.
You know, I don't think they're that bad.
All right.
Maybe because I'm looking at land prices every day.
There was one thing I wanted to do. There's one thing I wanted to check on. What could he have gotten for 100,000?
Renting?
Not renting. Go onto the loan amortization calculator. The loan amortization calculator, you need to learn how to use it, everybody. It's your friend, right? So loan amortization, yes, that's it. First one. So you can do a little basic maths with it. Steer right.
Why am I not seeing it?
So on the right side, history, because maybe you didn't click on it yet. It's not open on the screen. That don't mean. All right. So now you can share it. All right. So he could afford 100,000 in rent. So he should be able to can afford 100,000 each. So what you're trying to do now is to find out what kind of a pay, how much mortgage can 100,000 buy? Now let us assume he's under 30, so he can afford a 40-year mortgage. Interest rates have now gone up to, what did Jane tell you the other day, 8%?
Yeah, I think that's what it said.
Now the one you asked me about banks, that's one reason I don't like bank. So we got our Camelot mortgage, I think, at 6.5. Now them right you 2 times already, Tony? Or once?
I think it's once.
Once and raised it. That's the thing about banks, huh? Yet they didn't tell us if you have a fixed deposit there, they're not gonna write you and say, oh, we have now increased your fixed deposit to 10%. Crazy. All right. So let's see. If he takes a 20 million mortgage, he's gonna pay 100 and. As a matter of fact, let me do something else first. because he should actually be qualified for the NHD 7.5. So one of those in two parts. For the NHD 25, 7.5 million, right? It's down.
His interest rate is not 8% though.
His interest rate is gonna be probably 5% maximum. Or it's 4.
I don't have a pen here.
Let me say 5. I'm not keeping up with the NHD.
I think it's 5.
I think it's 5. All right. So
even though he's young, it's probably 0.
probably 0 gets. So he's gonna pay back 36,164.75. Let's just call it 36,200. 36,200. So he's gonna pay 36,200 if he gets a 7.5. He's gonna try to make that up. Let us say he borrows another 10 million from the bank, which he's gonna now get at 8%. So he's going to be able to get 73,000 plus how much? 32, maybe
36.
That's 109. I've gone over the price. So let me try for 9 million. How much that? 62. What's the difference I'm trying to get? Minus 100,000 from that.
63. Yeah.
All right, so I'm close enough. So he's getting 9 million plus 7.5, which works out to how much? 16.5? Yes or no? 16.5, yes. So he's trying to get 16.5 million to borrow. So the next thing now, Tony.
His loan is going to be 98,800.
So his loan is 98,000. Great. So he's at the 100 mark. Let us try, bring this up on the screen. We're going to try now to see what could he get for 16.5 million. Why am I failing?
You can't log in.
Why?
You have to update the thing on Monday.
All right. Let's go on to.
Just look on the front.
Yeah, so you get on the front.
Just type in any one of them.
Let me see. Is there a property for. He wants to be in Kingston. So chances are we're looking at maybe, let's just see if there are any apartments.
What was the budget? 50 million? 9 plus 7.5?
16.5. Price.
You change it to apartments?
What I don't think I did was, are you St. Andrew?
Mm-hmm.
No. Is there anywhere?
Sorry, you just share your screen.
Share screen. Are you sharing?
Mm-hmm. Cheapest is 20 million.
All right, so we're looking at the system. Cheapest is 20 million running.
That's why you can't get into Kingston.
Off the bat. So you can't get into Kingston. No. Let's go try St. Catherine, which would be the closest parish to St. Andrew.
Apartments?
Mm-hmm. $19 million. Hold on. Where's that apartment? I turned off already anyway. Water High. 11 million. Where is it?
Guys Hill. It might be too far for him.
Too far, guys. Yeah. All right. So you're talking about 13 million St. Catherine.
Union Estates.
Union Estates. How much is this one?
I don't see the price.
UDT.
Oh,
Oh, 14. So you can get a Union Estate apartment. That one's under contract.
It's not under court. It's Portmore. Or it's under contract.
It's under contract.
Our next option is Guyville.
So you can get a. Go back to the apartment.
All on the offer.
All on the offer. Click on now. Go back to that same one that we're talking about. Union Estate. So we just sold a townhouse in here. Go back to it. How much you asking? 14 million. It's a 2-bed, 1-bath. 16. What? Let me see the pictures. Any pictures?
No.
They're just showing in the block. Okay. So 14 million. So he has a 19 million budget. So he could buy this apartment for 14 million. It's at Twickenham. Not too far out. When you come to Twickenham, then you're on the Mandela and you're in Kingston. So no toll involved. It would be an option. Let's look at houses in St. Andrew as opposed to apartments. So he can't get an apartment it would be a challenge to find an apartment in St. Andrew for under 20 million. Let us say that. He could probably still find it, but he has to be aggressive. So let's look at a house in St. Andrew.
Why? Wouldn't it be a house in St. Catherine?
No, St. Andrew. I want to see the prices. Cheapest house in St. Andrew. What are the house prices in St. Andrew? 10 to 20 million. So you're talking about 20 million, all right. Where is this? 11 million? Where? Scroll down. Oh, them on the offer. Go down. 11 million. Where is this? It's not have no amenities, That young man not going to want any houses. No amenities.
Yeah, I think security.
And security going to be an issue. So first of all, there are no gated housing developments in St. Andrew like that.
I think,
there would be mostly apartments that you would be going after if you want the gated and the amenities.
I saw something on Duhaney's houses. That's gated.
What's Duhaney?
Not Duhaney. What's that road? Vineyard. Go down some more. Deanery.
Oh, Deanery.
Casa something.
Yeah, but that's not going to be 20 million.
No, it's not.
All right, so
the apartments were, remember?
Yeah, so he would be looking at an apartment. Cheapest he could stay in St. Andrew for is 20 million.
But if he was looking 4 years ago, those dinner apartments were under 20.
Those studios?
Yeah.
They were under 20. If he was looking, well, he probably doesn't want to go to Deanery.
Yeah, but they were gated with amenities.
They're still up? Well, I didn't see them in the price range.
Their price range moved now.
Okay.
They're over 20 million now.
All right, so basically, he would be looking at, with a budget of 16, he could go to Union Estates, but again, no amenities.
They have security.
They have security though, but no amenities. But he could come to Palmetto Pines, buy the land 6.5, and then he would have 10 million or 9 million, no, 10 million. And he could build his 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom house.
And he could put amenities on it.
Oh, like what? On his house?
Yeah.
Like a pool?
Yeah.
On a 3,000 square feet lot?
Yeah, why not? He's only doing a 2-bedroom house. Unless his 2-bedroom is massive.
Maybe he could. Yeah. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much. Tony, check if you have any other questions. We need to log out. All right. Thank you so much for staying with us. Joseph says he got it. Good, Joseph. Can all of the NHG use to buy land? I land price was 5 million. All right, Kendrick. So NHG only gives you 3.5 for land. You would have to find 1.5 or join with another bank, right? Nikki says, talk soon, very informed. Yes, Nikki, you have my number 292-6776. Will you ladies be in Palmetto Pines today? Dion? Yes, that's where we're heading right now. We're there between 10 to 4. It's Claudia. One more thing, please. I know this is real estate show. Do you know of a tour to the Blue Mountain? I can take while in Jamaica. Tony should know that. You did the Blue Mountain tour.
Yeah, but I went off road. I didn't go on a tour.
Is
There
there?
is a tour though. They're actually on Instagram. What are they called? It's missing me. It's like the name Island Vibes or something like that.
Island Vibes.
Can't remember off the top of my head. I always see they come across my feed.
You tour people are so adventurous. I would never. Well, I probably shouldn't say that to her because when I was a counselor when I was young at one of those lodges where the rich people send their kids for the summer up in the hills there. And I had to make the trek up to the Blue Mountain one time with them. My God, never again.
Right, they're literally called Blue Mountain Tours
Blue
on
Mountain tour on
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Joseph, send Tony a WhatsApp at which number? 370?
Yeah,
370-8138.
But this is the bike one. I think there's an overnight one as well.
Bike meaning what? You riding a bike?
Mm-hmm.
You on the bike back with somebody? Or you have your own bike?
No, they you like you rent a bicycle for the day.
A bicycle? I thought you walked to Blue Mountain.
Yeah, but some parts of it you ride.
Oh, and when you to push a bicycle the rest of the way.
I don't know exactly how it goes, but it's a whole thing now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. WhatsApp Tony send you the link for that. Any more questions? More questions?
No, it doesn't look so.
You scroll down, right down to the end.
Yeah, we're at the end. Yeah, we're at the end.
It's Claudia, one more thing. Okay. Oh, so that was it. All right, everybody. You have anything else to share?
No, that's it.
That's it. All right. Thank you so much for staying with us today, this morning at 6 a.m. Really appreciate it. And if you can wake up your other family and friend, let them know we're on here at 6. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for staying with us. And we look forward to seeing you next week, Sunday. Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a good day.